Hello and welcome back to Retro For You. Now we all know the Gotek is a fantastic replacement for aging floppy drives. Stick flash floppy on one, throw a load of disk images onto USB stick and you've got a very handy piece of kit. But what if we could take the humble Gotek and give it something a little more modern? Yes, a full colour touchscreen interface complete with cover artwork, game selection, multi-disc support and even a wireless option. How brilliant is that? Not only that, it works over multi-systems apparently, so I can use it on the Amstrad, the C64, the Spectrum, whatever I use a Gotek in. And that's exactly what we're going to try to have a go at building today. Now this project, called the Gotek Touchscreen Interface or GTI, was created by Mez and Dimmy of OmegaWare, so a big thumbs up to them and for making it public release. Also wouldn't have known about this if it wasn't for my friend Andres, so a big thumbs up to you. I had no idea this thing existed. Pinged me a message saying, have you seen this? And I thought, yes, that looks great. So the brilliant thing, they've made the firmware ridiculously easy to install. There's a web flasher, so you don't even need to mess with the Arduino IDE. So will it work? Will I manage to break something? There's only one way to find out. Let's crack on. If, like me, you like building things, then make sure you pop along to PCBWay. They produce high quality custom PCBs perfect for replacement boards, prototypes or even your own retro products. So once you've got your project you want to build, all you got to do is simply click add to cart, which is this big green button on the right hand side. Once you've done that, you're presented with this new page here. Now it'll say here we have detected 2-layer board at 45 by 51, etc. Depending on what board you got, obviously that changes. And as long as it says here 100% success, you're all good to go. Now there is a hyperlink at the top here for simple tutorial, which will give you some more information should you get lost. Now we do have some options we do need to set. The first one being, make sure you have the right country selected for your shipping costs, so you can make sure you're paying the right amount of postage to get it to your country. Now you got the quantity here, which is always set to 5, which is great because you've always got spares if things do actually go wrong on your build. Now also a couple of options down below which are worth looking at is here, which is your solder mask color and also your silk screen color. So your solder mask color is the color of the board, the silk screen color is the color of the words on the board. And last but not least, down the bottom here you can have assembly service if you want to get this board built. After you've done this, you click the button here, save to cart, it will then be processed. As you can see, the color of the boards is absolutely excellent and the quality is second to none. Great job PCBWay. So whether you're into repairing a retro classic or just building something brand new, PCBWay is the way to go. So check out the link down below. And on that note, let's crack on. What are we going to be building? The idea is fairly straightforward. Instead of scrolling through disk images using little buttons and display normally fitted to a Gotek, you're going to be using an ESP32 based touchscreen as the front end. The touchscreen can also display your games with cover artwork, allow you to search through them, handle multi-disc games and then load the selected floppy image to the Gotek. At the time of making this video, the main stable option is the JC3248, which I have here, which is an ESP32-S3 based 3.5 inch 480 by 320 touchscreen. There are also builds for 2.8 inch wave share displays, 4.3 inch screens and even 7 inch displays. Some of those larger versions are currently beta builds, so check the project page before ordering anything. For this build I'm going to be using the 3.5 inch JC3248. So what do we actually need for the build? For the basic standalone version we've got a Gotek drive running suitable firmware. We've got the JC3248 3.5 inch touchscreen with a micro SD card comes pre-installed, a USB data cable and obviously our retro computer which is up on the shelf. But also I've got the wireless interface here if we get round to that today. I'm going to be trying this with an Amiga, one of the mini ITX ones that are built. Although the interface has also support aimed at machines such as the Amstrad CPC, ZX Spectrum through its generic image mode. And one important point about the USB cable, it needs to be a proper data cable. We've all got a drawer full of mysterious USB cables, and half of them seem to do absolutely nothing except charge things. That's because they're made on the cheap and they just wired up the positive and negative. So don't immediately assume your screen is faulty if your computer cannot see it. Let's just get this screen undone now. Now it comes with a load of cables for programming. We shouldn't need these. Some screws, some instructions, and here is the little LCD itself. So you can see there, it's a nice little LCD with a USB-C in the back, and we can now plug that in, and hopefully, yeah, there you go, it's actually just powered on. It's got like MP3, video, clock, sound, weather, settings. It's actually quite cool. It's actually got Wi-Fi, but in itself is like a little computer itself. It's probably more powerful than Amiga, maybe. You never know these things. So we're just going to go onto the web page and take a look what we need to do. Okay, so flashing it is easy. All you need to do is plug in your USB-C data cable, click on the screen you want to flash, click on connect. You should get a USB JTAG serial. Click on connect again. Install Gotek, erase device, click next, install, and hopefully there you go, it's erasing it now, and now it's actually installing the software. It just makes it so easy using this web page. No messing around with Windows software, no messing around with anything, just easy, simple to follow instructions, and bingo bongo, off it goes. Now, the one thing, like I say, do mention is make sure you've got a data cable. That's just the main thing you need, is the data cable and this web page, and obviously some internet. So let's just wait. It takes about 2 minutes, it says to do. So just keep this page open like it says to prevent slowdown. And as easy as that, it's actually done. It says it's wrapping up, installation complete. It's so easy. How good is that? Now what I'm going to do is to power on the Super Mini dongle. Now you probably guessed, it's the same as before. You plug it in, as easy as that. You go back to your website, you select your Super Mini dongle, and you probably guessed it, you click connect, and as you can see there, USB JTAG on COM11, same again. Just install Gotek Interface, erase device, next it, install, and basically the same process again. It erases it and it reinstalls it. So now that's done, what I need to do is to power on this screen. You can see there now we've got this set up. So what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to get some power for the Wi-Fi. So again, we're just going to plug the Wi-Fi in, just so it's got some power. I'm going to go to info, and you see how you got mode standalone there. We're going to go to mode wireless, and we're going to put scan for dongles. So there you go, straight away it's found one dongle. So that's it. You use that dongle, and it is that easy to pair to the dongle. Simple as that. And all you do with that, you plug that in to your Gotek, and you've got wireless connectivity. How brilliant is that, guys? So let's just unplug this. I'm just going to insert the old SD card here, which came with it. Now, when you put a blank SD card in this and you power it on, it actually creates a menu structure for you, which I'll put on the screen now. All you need to do is create separate folders in the ADF. There is a README file in there. For example, Lemmings, you create a Lemmings folder and you put in the Lemmings ADFs and a Lemmings JPEG if you want a box art, etc. So it's really easy to do. So we're just going to put this in. I've already copied a couple of stuff on here so we can get it tested. I'm struggling to get that back in. So I'm just going to use a little screwdriver to push that down. We're going to repower it on. We now have games on here. We've got Lemmings with box art, and we've got Lotus Turbo Challenge as well with box art. So absolutely fabulous. Let's just have a look a bit at this software now and see what it actually does. So I'm hoping you can see this now on camera. Now, a few of the buttons here, let me just go across. You've got the middle one here, which will change your themes. As you can see, the background is changing. I mean, that's quite cool, isn't it? And then you've got two buttons here, next and previous. You can actually switch between the games here and there. Now you've also got a real mode here, and you can slide back and two with your finger through the games. Now I've only got 2 games listed, but imagine that with all the tiles of the games flying along. How cool would that look? You can actually use a dice here and it'll pick a game at random. It's just a bit of a gimmick in it, but there you go. Or you can list all for favourites. List will just go back to list as it was before. Now if we go to info here, you've got all your settings for soft reset, load diag, firmware update, SDXS, etc. So it is really that good. Moment of truth setup here. Now I plugged in the Gotek, you can see there. Now it is just roughly stuck in this machine at the moment, and I powered it on, and you can tell we're at the kickstart ROM here. So what we're going to do is, if you can see here on the screen, you can see now we've got Lemmings, and under here you've got disc 1 and disc 2. So there's disc 2, there's disc 1. So what we're going to do, we're going to select disc 1. Tell you what I need to do. I need to just remove this here. This is the moment of truth. This is my favourite part in it. So we're just going to remove that so we can see it a lot better. So we're on this one, and we're going to click insert. Now that should send it wirelessly through this wireless dongle here that we've flashed before. You can see the little one there. It's just plugged into a USB lead and into the Go drive there. Now this should hopefully send it. So let's click insert. You can see there it says loading, and believe it or not, the Amiga has actually come alive and it's loaded the Lemmings. Now that was pretty quick, wasn't it? That was quite amazing. So what we're going to do is just load the game as well and see how quick it is, or whether it's actually slower. But you can see there, we can change all sorts of things, like you got themes here. So we can change different themes. There's a lovely purple one there. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this, guys. It just looks so good. You see the Psygnosis logo has come up, the DMA design, and it has indeed loaded. And that, to me, it's probably about the same speed as a disc, isn't it? Because it is running off a disc emulator anyway. So I'm really happy with that. And the fact that it works wirelessly is great. I mean, if you put a battery on this, I mean, your choice is unknown, isn't it? You could do anything you wanted. Do I need to press a button now or something? Or is it loading the demo? I guess it's loading the demo. This seems to be a bit slower though, as far as I remember. Just leave it anyway. It is working, because there's the intro. The intro has indeed loaded. I think we can press mouse button to escape this, and it should ask for disc 2 now. Hopefully. We got a Amiga mouse anywhere. I think usually you get like a Lemmings hand. There it is. And it should ask for disc 2. Now to ask disc 2, all we do is eject that one. So press eject, disc 2, insert. And now that's loaded. As soon as that is loaded, all we should have to do is click the button, and it should indeed load Lemmings. Hopefully. Seems to be doing it. I mean, I'm beginning to think it is a bit slow over the wireless, but it's not painstakingly slow. I mean, if you're used to Commodore 64s and stuff, loading games that way, it's not too bad at all. So we can click one player. We'll just get a mouse. And it has actually loaded the game fine. I'm going to stick that up there like so. You guys can't see it, it's actually fell off. Right, so it is still loading. So you can see there, it did indeed load Lemmings. Once it's loaded, it's playing fine. If I can click, there you go. So it is working. I mean, it's just a massive jump forward, and for this to be free as well, for it to be public domain software basically is absolutely fabulous. So there we have it, a touchscreen Gotek interface. And I have to say, this is one of those upgrades that I initially thought might be a little excessive, because let's face it, nobody technically needs a giant coloured touchscreen to emulate a floppy disk. But actually, after using it, I really like it. The Gotek has always been incredibly practical, but scrolling through hundreds of file names using 2 buttons isn't exactly the most luxurious experience in the world. Having cover artwork as well, and also these little screensavers and folder search, makes the touchscreen, makes the whole things much nicer to use. And the fact that OmegaWare have provided a browser-based flasher means it's surprisingly approachable project. No Arduino IDE. No hunting around for obscure libraries. Plug it in, choose the hardware and flash it. Obviously, this is an actively developed project and some of the hardware options and features are still beta. So check the official project page for the latest supported version before you go out buying parts. But as retro upgrades go, this is a pretty impressive one. What do you reckon? Would you fit one of these to your Amiga, or putting a full colour touchscreen on a floppy drive emulator taking things slightly too far? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Retro for You, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, let's crack on. See you later, guys. Bye.